Hi, this is Misha, and as promised, this is part 2, looking at the new, at least old new, back in, coming back with new importer, Polish Pioneer Arms Corp guns. These are made in Radom, Poland, and we have the two models that are available so far. We have the so-called Hellpup, which I don't like the name, but I like the gun. Hellpup pistol with a 12-inch barrel. And we have the now converted Sporter rifle, see, much better name, with the 16-inch barrel. Now, anyone who watched video 1 will remember this gun because it had this stock on it, this extremely sexy, unique thumbhole stock, literally made out of part of a bookcase. Side note, I heard today that the founder of IKEA passed away. Kind of reminded me of this. I guess he'd be proud. I don't know. Anyway, it had this stock on it in the video 1, and the magwell was closed up because of import. Well, we got these taken care of by a local gunsmith, and now we can feed from standard magazines. This was an easy conversion. The front part was already opened up here, so all you had to do was step it out, cut back. Now he needed to remove the mag catch just for his machinery. Depending on what you're using, you may or may not need to remove the mag catch to get the back part machined out properly. But it's easy enough to get it back in. It's just got a big rivet. The bolt and trunnion, as expected, were already standard. In other words, double stack compatible. We didn't have to mill out either the front of the trunnion or put in a different bolt head. They were fine. So we got that done. He also popped the weld on this muzzle brake so we can remove it. It is 14x1 left hand. See, it just unscrews, folks. Like any Kalashnikov. So you can put whatever you want on it. Now the bayonet lug down here is machined off, at least the wings, but you can still set a bayonet on. It may just not lock on fully or at all, but for looks purposes, it's there. And what I like is, unlike some of the 1990s imports, say the Hungarian SA85M or the Norinco Mac 90, they took the whole block off. No need for that. And if you take the block off, it really doesn't support your cleaning rod. So it looks right, and we can have a cleaning rod. That's good. After doing all this, we took off the wonderful thumbhole stock. I know, should have just left it on. And we installed a side folding stock. Also made by Pioneer in Poland. This is based on the Tanto stock with the lever button, which really goes all the way back to the East German designs of the early 70s. But it's simplified and it's a lot easier to install than the original Germans. Now, interestingly, it doesn't have a sling swivel on the side. Instead, we have a plate here that goes above the pistol grip, which can be put on the left or the right side. We put on a regular, just US pistol grip here, kind of a large Galil style with a bit of a thumb rest. And that was pretty much our conversion. So how did these shoot? Both of them. Well, here are the first shots out of this one.
Wire stocks.
As you saw, it ran fine. We literally had no issues, which surprised me a little bit. So, anytime you open up a magwell and haven't really messed with the mag catch much. You always think maybe the mag's not sitting at the right height. No, everything worked fine. We tried multiple different mags, including these waffle Polish ones, which honestly I wasn't expecting much out of. They're pretty light. I mean, their molds are fine, but they felt pretty light. I was surprised how reliable they were. They actually went into the gun, as you see, very easily with very little play. Worked fine. I don't know how much longevity they have, but at least from the get-go, they work a heck of a lot better than a lot of US-made mags. We also tried steel mags, WBP green Briel mags, the Briel style ones. And I think we tried one of the Croatian bolt hold opens too. I can't remember. I know we tried a couple of different steel Polish mags. It did not have any problems with any of the mags. Recoil was fine. It was normal. The stock was your typical wire poker that loves to slap you in the cheek, but it's sturdy. There's no play to it. So the gun performed very well. Checking it out afterwards, we didn't notice any undue wear to the bolt lugs or the mortars, the recesses in the trunnion. All the rivets seemed fine. Nothing's cracking, deforming. So far, it held up fine. We probably put about 200 rounds through it that day. Also, my cameraman today, who works for Benton County Gun Works, which is nearby in a town, I sent him one of these. I had 3 of these originally come in. This is the one I kept. One went up to AK Operators Union, Rob Ski, who will probably have a video out, if not already, soon. And the third one I gave to my friend to test out, and he reported that he fired about 150 rounds and had no problems. He also did not experience stellar accuracy, but also hasn't really played around with the sights. He used old Norinco 7.6239 ammo. We used Wolf ammo, both WPA and WMC, so both the Polyformance and the Military Classic, and had no worries, no problems. So a total of about 350 rounds through 2 different guns so far, so at least out of the box, these seem to work pretty well. Now, how they will hold up long term, I don't know. So what about the pistol? We also took this out to test fire it, and here are its first shots.
Clear.
As you see, it ran fine. Now this did not need to be machined out on the magwell. It came in, because of being a pistol, with the standard magwell. It's the one that actually shipped with these 2 black waffle Polish mags. The rifle, the Carbine, did not come with any mags because it didn't have a working magwell. We did unweld the fake booster here. I actually wish this was a real flash hider because it looks cool and goes with the gun. I wonder if PAC might import the fully finished out version of this, because I think it'd be a neat addition. Plus a booster on a shorty is always a good thing. The only other change, we slapped on a spare SB47 brace. And we took it out. Now obviously, since this is a shorty, you're expecting a little bit different. We had more of a fireball because of not having a flash hider. You know, it's obviously a closer ranged weapon. And this performed 100% with Wolf Military Classic, which is what you just saw. However, with Wolf Polyformance, we had these results.
Oh, wait, got it.
No, it's not that.
The bolt's not closed.
Okay. Yeah, the trigger was sticking. Yeah.
Stuck.
Okay, before you panic or before you blame the gun, let me explain. This is the same Polyformance ammo we had significant trouble with out of my pre-ban Polytech Legend, which had an almost brand new barrel and bore. So it had not been shot out at all. Actually, we had much worse luck out of that pre-ban than we did this gun here. This one had a few kind of weird feeds and whatnot, but nothing we couldn't clear very, very simply. That Polytech chambers, cartridges were getting stuck in the chamber so much we had to pry them out. We also had some trouble with that WP ammo out of a brand new Wasser 10, which is obviously one of the best entry-level, or really best AKs available, period. So if a Wasser 10 was not liking it 100%, okay, to this point, when we first did the Polytech video, I wasn't sure if it was the gun or the ammo, because the ammo was working fine in other guns I had, like, for example, my Arsenal and my WBP CG1. But now that it's 3 guns the ammo has been weird in, I'm starting to think the ammo is probably just a little out of spec. Either large cases, just a little on the fat edge of spec, or a little light loaded, because when firing this with the WPA, the Wolf Polyformance, the recoil was noticeably lighter than when firing it with the Wolf Military Classic. It felt like something was robbing recoil energy, and that's what was causing some of the issues, because the bolt just wasn't springing with enough authority to work. Now this, combined with a 12-inch barrel, would probably explain why we have a shorter gas system and a shorter barrel with a much shorter dwell time. It's probably why the WPA worked fine in the Carbine, but was just a little wimpy in this thing. And it seems like the cartridges were just getting a little bit stuck in the chamber, and it was requiring more energy from the bolt to pull them out. And so when the bolt was finally able to pull them out, it just didn't have quite enough oomph to pick up the next round and push forward. So with WPA, we weren't having fantastic luck. Now, we didn't have any, if the round would get in the chamber, it'd work fine. But we were just having trouble. Again, Military Classic, no problemo. And I'm sure with other cartridges, say Norinco, it would have been fine. We just didn't have any at that day. There was also one issue very early on where the trigger failed to reset. See? It didn't quite go forward. And I really just blame that on being brand new. It seemed like there was just a little bit of grit, or maybe even grease. I didn't degrease this before shooting it, so that seemed like that was a one-off thing because of it being a brand new trigger group, brand new gun. If it happens again, I'll let you know, but that seemed to be an isolated incident, and to fix it, all I had to do was push the trigger forward. But other than that, and the WBPA, this seemed to work just fine, at least as well as any Draco or other shorty AK I've ever owned worked. So for now, I'm going to blame that on the ammo. We'll report back. The pistol, I'm going to give a soft pass. Passing grade. Call it a B. It seemed like it was an ammo issue, but I still want to know more. The Carbine, though, which is probably the one more people are interested in, this seemed to be a solid A. It seemed to work fine. I mean, really A+ if I'm being fair, because it had no issues. For what it is, it seems very, very nice. Smooth bolt, no undue wear after firing. This is actually a really good finish. We've gone back and forth if we think this is either a really nice phosphating or kind of a military grade bluing. I'm wondering if it's kind of a black oxide. But the finish definitely seems very nice for the amount of money these guns cost. As I've said in a lot of my online posts, though, this is still early days for this thing. So we'll report as we run more rounds through it. And again, if he hasn't already, I know Rob Ski will start posting one of his 5K tests very soon. So we should have some good info for you folks to let you know if this is an economy option for 2018, if it's something to maybe challenge the Wasser and N-PAP. I really hope it at least goes more of the distance than, say, the RAS-47. I already feel like it'll do much better than the USA made guns. And that brings me to my final point. In our first video, a lot of people were saying that these were just a scam, a smokescreen for IO. They are not. IO and Pioneer Arms have had nothing to do with each other for a number of years. Pioneer Arms is importing these as PAC-USA, their own company. And in fact, in video one person said he couldn't see. Try to show you again. It very clearly says in this little oval here, Pioneer Arms. There's no IO anywhere on this gun. And really their exclusive US distributor, if you call Pioneer Arms, who they will refer you to is Centerfire Systems in Versailles, Kentucky, as they call it, Versailles, Kentucky. So it seems like if there is a US partner, it's actually Centerfire, who I've dealt with for many years and has always been a stand-up, honest outfit. So I have nothing bad to say about Centerfire. They've always been good people, and a lot of their stuff, when they had a lot of parts kits, that's how I really started my business many years ago, was selling a lot of their really neat but inexpensive parts kits, because I didn't have a lot of money to invest, so I would buy kits and sell them, and buy more kits and sell them, and they were great to deal with, and over the years I've continued to deal with them. So for sure, IO is not involved here. It's Centerfire and Pioneer Arms, if anything. Hope you've enjoyed this update video. If you have any questions, please post them below. These stocks are available, by the way, for separate purchase. I know they're under $100 for the complete assembly with hardware. I'm thinking they're around $75, $80. And this will take any standard AK stock buys without modification. As you see, it's a square back receiver. If you liked the video, appreciate it if you click like, and also if you'd like to help support us, let us get to the range a little more often, please check out our Patreon page. Well, please tune in again soon. We'll have more historical videos and also more range videos and updates of AKs like this. And we'll catch you next time.